Thank you for choosing Allied Universal for your security services. This video will cover logging into the HELIAUS portal, an overview of the widgets, and context and how to set yourself up to receive reports. So the first thing you'll want to do is get logged into the HELIAUS portal. That's heliaus.aus.com. Your username is going to be your full email address. And then your password is case sensitive, so you want to be careful when you are typing that in. And then hit sign in. You'll then be prompted for a two-step verification code sent either as a text message to your cell phone or as a phone call to your direct landline, depending on what was used when your account was set up. Once you've logged into the HELIAUS portal, you'll be shown your dashboard. This is your home dashboard. It's what you see when you log into the HELIAUS portal. Each one of these items here are called widgets, and that you'll have 6 widgets on your home dashboard. The first one that we're going to talk about is the data visualization heat map widget. And all of these data visualization widgets work together. So when you update, say, a time range in one, it's going to show it in the others if you go to view those as well. So we're going to go ahead and maximize our data visualization heat map widget by clicking on the box in the top right. This heat map widget is showing me where activity is happening on my site in real time. And it automatically shows me the last 24 hours. You'll see that all of the different activity is color coded, right? And here on the heat calendar, we're seeing when that activity is happening. And in the activity analysis, we're seeing what is happening. And each one of these is showing me what those colors represent as far as the activity. If I click on any of the activity in here, it'll give me more detail about that activity. And maybe I want to know, what do all those different symbols mean, right? I could come over here to the legend and it shows me. Or maybe you want more detail about the officer location, right? These are our officers right now, but maybe you want more. You could come over here to panels, click on show heartbeats, and it'll show us more detail about where the officer has been. The heartbeats are a signal that the device lets off approximately every 5 minutes. That's what we mean when we say heartbeat. You can also view this as a list view. And then you can filter by officer, by activity, or do a combination of the two, or filter by keyword. I'm going to come back over to our map. I'm going to click on map, and I see that. Now maybe I want to see a larger time range, right? So I could quickly select my date range, or I could set my date range myself by choosing the date and using my time slider to select the time. Once I've made my selection though, I then hit apply, and it'll apply that change. Now notice it updated all my activity on this map, but it also updated it in the heat calendar in the activity analysis as well. You can choose different detail levels, high, medium, or low. You can also filter by category. So maybe you're only interested in all of those, but you don't want to see the workflows in the general assistance categories. So you could choose that, hit add to filter, and then hit apply, and it'll eliminate those. It's all about what do you want to see. And if at any point you want to start over and you want to reset everything, you can just come over here to reset all, say yes, reset, and then you'll be back to your default last 24-hour time range with the same for your detail and your categories. So I'm going to come back over to home to bring me back to my home dashboard so we can talk about the next widget. The next widget is our data visualization activity analysis widget. And this one's going to show me what is happening on my site. So I'm going to go ahead and maximize it by clicking on the box in the top right. And then it's going to pull up a bar graph of my activity. And that's the default. But there are other graph options as well. So here's my graph. It shows me all of those activities and how many of them are happening. And it also gives me a list down at the bottom. Now notice these are kind of blocking out pieces of my view. So if you don't want these here, you can just close those out and then they'll be out of your view. And if at any point you decide that you want to bring them back into view, you could come back over here to panels, click on them, and they'll be back. So the activity analysis is really great for seeing a large section of time. So maybe you want to compare month to month, or maybe you want to compare 3 months to 3 months. You can easily do that by changing your date range. So we'll say 3 months, hit apply. This is going to give me my 3-month view, right? It's showing me my bar, right? Again, remember you can have a pie view of that, or you can have a line graph as well that you can say have monthly or weekly, right? To see that change. It's up to you. But to see that comparison that I was talking about, and I'm going to change this back to pie because I like the pie one. We just hit compare, right? It's going to pull up 3 months, compare it to the next 3 months, and hit apply. So now I have the first 3 months, the second 3 months, and then the comparison that shows me what activities went up and which ones went down. So now I'm going to come back over to home, and we're going to talk about our data visualization heat calendar widget, which is going to show me when activity is happening on our site. So I'm going to go ahead and maximize this widget. And again, notice it's still saying 3 months because I changed that in the activity analysis widget. So we can see the redder it is, the more activity that is happening. So here's our reddest section. So from 9 to 10 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is when the most activity is happening here on the demo site, Titan Hyperion. So I'm going to come back over to home. And next we're going to talk about our tours widget. So our tours widget is going to show us a picture of our tours. It automatically shows us a 7-day view. But again, just like the other widgets, we can change that date range. So I'm going to go ahead and maximize this. And we can see that for the last 7 days, we've had 19 total tours. 13 of those were complete, 5 were incomplete, 0 were missed, and 1 is in progress right now. If I want to see any more detail about those, I can simply click on the bar. It pulls up all those incomplete ones because I clicked on the incomplete tours bar. And then I can see all those incomplete tours. If I want to see details about that incomplete tour, I can click on the eyeball. I can see the scheduled start and end time of the tour, the actual start and end time for the tour, which officers worked on it, how much of it was complete, which zones were visited, which ones were not. And for the ones that were visited, I can click on the eye to the right of it and see the answers to those workflows. Or maybe I want to see what's in progress, or I could see the complete ones, right? So I can click on either one of those bars and again, click on the eye to the right of the tour and see what's happening. Notice our in progress one is actually complete. So that's always good. And again, remember that you can change that date range by clicking on the drop down or by filling in your dates and hitting go. So we're going to come back to home. The jobs post employees widget, that's pretty straightforward. It's showing you the officers that are on the Win Team master schedule for your site. The site health widget is going to give you a snapshot of the effectiveness of HELIAUS at this site. So how effectively is the site using HELIAUS? And it gives you a score from 1 to 5. All right, based off a bunch of different information. Are the devices active? The data velocity that is coming in. Are there post orders uploaded? Does the client log in? Do employees log in? Are there clients set up for distribution? Are there employees set up for distribution? And all these different items will help create that score. So you'll see each one of them has its own like star calculated. And that goes, and these all together help come up with that overall score. I'm going to come back to our home dashboard, and next we're going to talk about contacts. So if you want to receive emails automatically about different activity for your site, you'll want to set yourself up as a contact to receive some kind of distribution. So you would start by going to Site Configuration and then Contacts. Up here is just for informational purposes, but down below are people who are potentially set up to receive some kind of distribution. Now maybe you see your name down at the bottom, right? So there I am. If I click on Distribution to the right of my name, we can see that I am currently set up to receive the Unified Activity Report, which is a report that is sent once per day that contains all of the HELIAUS activity for the site. If I wanted to change up any kind of reports for myself, I could click on the pen and paper icon to the right of my site, choose my reports, and then hit Save, right? It's really that easy. But maybe you weren't set up as a contact yet, right? So you could come back over to Site Configuration and then Contacts, or you could simply click Contacts up at the top. That brings you back to your Contacts page, and then we could add a contact. So we'll say Add a Contact. We'll say this person is a technical support specialist. Since I'm already set up here, I'm just going to put in test, and then put in an email, right? So heliausupport@aus.com, and then a phone number, and then choose the contact type. Are you the client or are you an employee? Well, since I am an employee, I would choose is employee, but if you are the client, you would choose is client. If you want your information to show on the HELIAUS mobile app in the contact section, you would check that box. And once you've filled out all that information, you would then hit Save, and you would be prompted to then choose the reports that you want to receive. So there are lots of different reports. We talked about that Unified Activity Report, which is a once daily report that contains all of your HELIAUS activity. But maybe you want to receive notifications about finalized approved incidents. There's one for that. There's also ones for like officer logins and outs, as well as ones for tours, and ones regarding visitor vehicle management. It really depends on what you want to receive. So you would just make those selections. And notice that some of these do have text messages, so those are options as well. So you just make your selection and then hit Save, and then you'd be set up. If at any point you need additional information regarding HELIAUS or you have some questions, you can always reach out to your client success manager, or you can reach out to HELIAUS support at heliausupport@aus.com, or by opening a support ticket. And so from the bottom left of the HELIAUS portal, you'll see Open a Support Ticket. If you click on that, it pulls up a form for you to fill out, which you could fill in and then submit. Or you could give us a call here at HELIAUS Support, 770-625-1467. Thank you.